There is a massive tailwind coming for the entire crypto and digital asset space. There is a key piece of legislation in discussion right now in the United States that could push the entire crypto market cap to new all-time highs. In this video, we're going to explore what is this key piece of legislation, how likely is it to pass, and what will happen if it does. If you want to learn more, like and subscribe down below, and let's hop in to today's video. Now guys, the legislation that I'm talking about is the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act is going to give a complete regulatory and legal framework to crypto and digital assets in the United States. Our problem before was that we didn't have any laws in place. And so the previous SEC, under the clown Gary Gensler, was able to attack the industry and throw lawsuits at people like Coinbase, Kraken, Ripple, the good actors in the space. And they were under constant threat because of the lack of clarity. Right now, we have already seen one critical piece of legislation pass, the Genius Act, and this was the stablecoin bill. And that really pushed crypto to new all-time highs. And we're going to draw the correlation later in this video. What could realistically happen if we see the Clarity Act pass based on what we saw happen with the Genius Act? We actually saw really solid bipartisan support for the Genius Act, meaning a lot of Democrats voted alongside Republicans to help sign it into law. This is Matt Hogan. He's going to break down how he sees this bipartisan support shaking out for the Clarity Act. Have a listen.
And I would note that, the Genius Act passed with 100 votes from Democrats in the House. It's actually somewhat bipartisan. There's a very squeaky part of the Democratic Party that's anti-crypto. And I agree that in a sharp bear market, maybe with some scandals tinged to it, they would pounce on it. But I don't think that's the base case. I think the base case is that crypto demonstrates its value now that it's able to interact with the real world. The US is relying on stablecoins for financing its debt. Bitcoin is broadly held by pensions and institutional investors, and that part of the market just has escape velocity from a regulatory perspective.
And so Matt Hogan is very bullish on this. I'm very bullish. Matt Hogan's the chief investment officer at Bitwise. They're one of the Bitcoin ETF issuers. And so have a look on your screen. We have the results of the House and Senate vote on the Genius Act, on the Stablecoin Act. And you can see that we had 102 Democrats vote yes. We had 17 Democrats in the Senate vote yes. Keep in mind, all we really need is a simple majority. So we need about 218 votes yay for Republicans. We need 51 votes for passing the Senate, but to get past a filibuster, you need 60. So worst case scenario, if every Republican votes yes, we'd still need 7 Democrats to vote yes, but we had 17 vote yes on the Genius Act, so we're looking good there. Now, the Clarity Act actually already passed the House of Representatives, and this is what makes me really bullish, because have a look here. We have 78 Democrats vote yes on the Clarity Act. So 131 voted no. That's 33% of Democrats, roughly, voted yes on the Clarity Act in the House. Now, if we can get 33% of Democrats to vote yes in the Senate, doing some basic math here, 45 divided by 3, roughly 15. So if we have 15 votes yes for Democrats, that puts us well above. Even if 18 Republicans voted no, we'd still be fine. And so for me, the chances are looking good here. The chances for this Clarity Act passing are looking good here. Now, I do want to point out that Polymarket does only have the chance currently sitting at 24%. But if you go back to shortly after the Genius Act was signed, they had it at an 87% chance. And nothing's really changed. Nothing's really changed fundamentally about whether or not there'd be a yes or a no vote. And keep in mind, this is just a site for gambling. And so I don't really take this at face value. Their primary concern is to create the most favorable betting odds. And so, betting odds aside, we have strong bipartisan support from the Genius Act. And then if you go over to standwithcrypto.org, this is a great resource. This gives A through F rating on where legislators in the US stand on crypto. A through F, A obviously being strongly supportive. If we narrow it down to senators, we narrow it down to the Democrats, we have 16 A's, strongly supportive, and we have 3 C's, neutral. And then, to be honest, we have a lot of D's and F's, mostly F's. So if you live in any of these states, call your senators and tell them that they are ill-advised to be so against crypto. But if we go back to our chart here and we see that we had 17 Democrats vote yes on the Genius Act, we have 16 Democrats who are strongly supportive of crypto in general. This makes me very bullish. Not only are we seeing that they are voting yes on crypto legislation previously for stablecoin, which is a big deal. The US is relying on stablecoin to help reconcile their debt. We have 16 of them who are very strongly supportive, 3 of which are neutral and the rest not so much. But it seems like we really don't need them. We had a total of 68 votes yes. That's 8 above what is necessary to get past a filibuster. So in terms of what are the odds of it passing, I'm looking pretty favorable right now. I think the 24% chance on Polymarket is a fluke. I think that will get higher the closer we come to the vote. So I think we've painted a pretty bullish picture for whether or not the Clarity Bill is going to pass. I think that it will. Polymarket thinks that it won't. We'll see if the odds go higher. Personally, I think that they will. That being said, if the Clarity Act passes, there is going to be a massive response to this. And I've got a video here from Matt Hogan. I think a lot of institutional players are betting on this happening as well. About 30 seconds here. Have a listen to what he has to say.
Like, crypto native degen world is in existential depression, and all of the institutional players coming into the market are like, this has never been better.
Yeah.
Right? We are on the cusp of a multi-year bull market, the scale of which you haven't even imagined.
Multi-year bull market, the scale on which you haven't even imagined. That usually comes off the back of sweeping regulatory clarity. I think the whales know something that we don't. So let's have a look at the past. What happened the last time we had a massive piece of legislation hit? So it was about July 3rd that the House of Representatives announced that they were going to be having Crypto Week. This is when the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, and another piece of crypto-related legislation got votes. Started about July 3rd. This is the others. This is the total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10. We went from about 229 billion market cap all the way up to about 311. And this was when it passed on July 17th, very slight dip, and then up we went. So once they announced Crypto Week, everyone started to realize that this is very likely going to pass. The crypto market went bananas, and we saw a 36% increase in the price of altcoins. This is just a bill that regulates stable coins. And yes, that is incredibly bullish. Getting clarity and a framework around the US using crypto to handle its debt is a very bullish thing. But getting complete clarity for the entire space and allowing anybody, anywhere to come in and build with a set of rules, and they can be assured that they will not get harassed by the government, that is insanely bullish. This 36% move is going to look like peanuts when the entire space gets clarity. This is what makes me so incredibly bullish. There's a massive tailwind coming in the form of legislation. The United States has a pro-crypto administration, pro-crypto lawmakers, and even the Democrats who are typically opposed to crypto have a sufficient number of pro-crypto members to push this legislation through. It already passed the House of Representatives with overwhelming Democrat support. I think the same is going to be true in the Senate. Time will only tell, but right now it's looking very good. And the rest of the future for crypto is looking very good. On this channel, we focus on the macro, we focus on the bigger picture, what drives markets from a top-level perspective. If that's the kind of perspective you want to help you zoom out and remain bullish as we head into the largest crypto bull market the world has ever seen, you got to like and subscribe down below. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've learned anything. As always, thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.